This is season 2, man. Liz and Adrian versus
Yep.
Candace.
I know.
I feel bad.
You guys have such opposite opinions of me in season 2.
Hello, and welcome back to a new episode of Millennial TV. We are your hosts, Liz
Candace?
And Adrian.
and today we will be recapping Season 2, Episode 3, So Hard to Say Goodbye. But before we get into the episode, let's talk about this week's pop culture news. This past Tuesday, the Oscar nominations were announced for this year's ceremony, which will be held on Sunday, March 10th. And every year the Oscars are like the Super Bowl for me and Kyle. We love to watch all of the coverage leading up to the awards show. We watch all the pre-shows, the recaps, the highlights, the red carpet. It's like an all-day event for us. So I thought it would be fun to just highlight some of the nominees and some of the snubs that happened as well. So surprisingly, Margot Robbie did not get nominated for Best Actress for Barbie, and Greta Gerwig didn't get a nomination for Best Director. However, Ryan Gosling did get nominated for Best Supporting Actor for his role as Ken. So I don't think he's going to win, but I was really surprised to see that he was nominated and Margot was not. Also, the I'm Just Ken song got nominated for Best Song, and I don't think that's going to win either. But I'm excited to see how they perform it at the show, and I don't think that Ryan will be the one singing it. That would be awesome, but I don't know what they'll do. It'll be interesting to see. And I was excited too that America Ferrera did get nominated. So interesting things with the Barbie movie going on.
Yeah, it just feels like they missed the point of the Barbie movie.
Exactly. They nominated the guy instead. And I'm like, did you guys watch it?
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
it's very weird.
Margot Robbie is phenomenal in everything that she's in, and I think she like more than deserves an Oscar nom. But at this point, like I truly feel like the Oscars don't really mean anything. It's like the same with the Grammys. Like it's just like this isn't what like the people want or what the people think. So
Right.
it's very like, should we even really care? But again, like I mean, Oscar's an Oscar, right?
And they've been trying to get like the younger audience to watch it and tune in over these past few years. They've tried like switching it up in so many different ways, and then it doesn't work. And then all of us like actual people who know how to like make films and stuff get pissed off about them making all these changes. We're like, just put it back the way that it was before.
It's not working anyway.
No, it's not. It's so weird. The other snubs, I was really hoping that Zac Efron would get nominated for the Iron Claw movie. He was so good in that, and it sucks that that movie didn't get like acknowledged at all.
I watched it too, and I was wondering if it didn't get nominated because it came out in December.
I'm not sure. Yeah, we couldn't figure out the timeline. So maybe it'll get nominated next year. I hope.
I hope so, because I love Zac Efron, and I like dragged my sister and my boyfriend to go watch it, and literally like we were crying.
Oh,
by the
I was
end.
a mess. I was
I
like,
know.
I need a minute before I get up.
I
Yeah.
have to see
I
this
know. I was
movie.
just like, I can't help myself. Candace, Zac Efron is like such a good actor now, and I know that there
Yeah.
were a few years where he was, taking on these like roles that no one really understood, or he was really trying to like carve himself out as a serious actor. But damn, I think he's done it, okay? Because he is so
Yeah.
good in this. And that final scene, Liz, I know you know what I'm
Oh my
talking about, where he
gosh.
was like, I used to be a brother. I'm like, oh my God.
I was waiting for that line to come, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
So he's come a long way
Yeah.
from High School Musical and Charlie St. Cloud.
He was a wonderful actor in both of those movies. So I don't want to say he's come a long way, because he's been
he's
perfect
always
this
been
entire
good.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
You have to. It's so good.
I don't have any issues with Zac Efron. I liked High School Musical. I thought he was fine in that too.
You can't have any issue with him.
No,
He's the
I
most
don't.
He's
human
perfect.
being.
Yep.
I loved him.
Me too.
People always say like Robert Pattinson in Twilight, and I'm like, he's actually like good in other things. Like,
Oh yeah, he's great. Yeah.
people have like layers. Like, you know, like you can only work with what was written on the page, you know?
Totally.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't really hold anything against anybody anymore, because if Robert Pattinson can make a whole career after Twilight, anybody can do it.
If he can be Batman after doing Twilight.
Yeah, if he could be freaking Batman. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Liz. Back to you.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Yeah, even though Zach didn't get nominated, I'm super excited. I think that Paul Giamatti is going to win Best Actor for the movie The Holdovers, which, if you guys haven't seen that one, that's like one of our top movies of the whole year. It was so good. And then Divine Joy Randolph, she's also nominated for The Holdovers, and she's won like all the other awards so far. So I think she's got that one in the bag, and she deserves it. She was so good. Prediction for Best Picture, I think it's going to be Oppenheimer, and I think that one's probably going to win the most awards of the night. It was nominated for 13 different things. And we just watched this one a few weeks ago, and I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this movie or not. But I really enjoyed it. And it is super long. You know, it's 3 hours, but it went by so fast. It was one of those where I was like, oh my gosh, like we're already halfway through the movie, and it didn't even feel like it.
I've never seen Oppenheimer. Every year at the Oscars, these movies are like announced, and I'm like, I didn't see that, I didn't see that, and I didn't see that.
Me too.
It's just never like anything that I am like, yes, I need to go see at the theaters because I'm a basic bitch. I'll be real, but
Me too. I'm like, this is a serious movie. I'm like, well, I can't.
I'm like,
watch it.
why are romantic comedies never nominated?
That's true.
No, but sorry, we know we're the uncultured ones here. We know
It's
that
okay.
We
Yeah.
cannot sit down to watch these.
You should watch it. It was good.
If you say The Holdovers was your favorite, I feel like, okay, I will add that to my list.
It was so good. It's a character piece. It's not like anything huge and dramatic. But yeah, we are the people who every year when they announce the best pictures, we try to watch all of them before the Oscars. And this year we've
Wow.
seen like 5. So we're like pretty good so far.
I'm surprised that you have time to watch movies with 2 kids.
Well, they go to bed at 7:30. So yeah, that's how we do that.
Yeah. Well, I love that for you guys.
Yeah, it's exciting. So we shall see who wins. All right, so now let's get into the episode. So the opening voiceover with Kristen was that she tried to warn Jessica about Jason, but she was so in love. Speaking of love, after years of having a crush on Taylor, Talon was finally about to make his move. As for Kristen, her and her college boyfriend are donezo, so she's going to make sure there are plenty of boys at her birthday party. But she wasn't the only one celebrating her birthday. Elsie was planning a trip to Mexico, and then we see Lo asking Lauren again, what is up with Steven? And Kristen then says, wonder what she's wishing for.
I loved that they made her use Dunzo.
I know, me too.
Because she was probably like, no, please don't make me do that. And they were like, do it. It's your catchphrase.
Yep.
So that was pretty funny. And then I looked it up because I was curious how close Lauren and Kristen's birthdays actually
Me
were.
too.
I did
looked it
too.
up.
And they're like really close. They're like a month apart.
Okay, wait. Yeah, I was going to say it's close, but they probably didn't have the same birthday weekend that was shown on the show.
No, but maybe because Steven went back to school at the end.
Lauren's birthday is February 1st, and then Kristen's is January 5th. I don't know. Maybe they celebrated Lauren's birthday early.
I'm thinking that's what happened.
But I don't think it was the same weekend.
No.
Because there are things that do not add up, yeah.
But she must have known her friends were going back to school because
Right.
Dieter went too.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, let's do this before that.
Yeah, before everybody leaves. Because her birthday was close anyway.
Right. So the episode opens with Lauren and Caitlin packing. Lauren's mom comes in and asks what their plans are for the weekend. Lauren says they're leaving right now and that they'll be staying at the Rosarita Beach Hotel. She assures her mom it's not a sketchy place and tells her it will be the 2 of them going with Steven and Dieter. Her mom asks if they're all staying in the same room, but Lauren says they got 2 rooms, a boy room and a girl room. Her mom asks that Lauren checks in with her and makes a comment that she doesn't want it to end up like the Marissa from the OC incident where she's laying in a gutter. So I've never watched the OC, so I tried to find this scene and I was literally searching like OC Marissa
In a gutter.
laying in a gutter. Yeah. And the closest thing I could find was in season 1, she had an overdose in Tijuana, and there's a part where she's like stumbling through the town and she just like falls over in like a dark alleyway, and then her friends find her a few minutes later. So I'm assuming that's what her mom was referring to, but I have no idea. I just was so curious about that.
Yeah, there is no boy room and girl room.
Oh my god, there is, Candace. Okay,
There
we'll talk
is.
about it when we get there.
I know that there is, but like there isn't, and you're so hooking up with Steven.
I don't know. We'll talk about it when we get there. I did Google the Rosarita Beach Hotel. It's about a 2-hour drive from Laguna Beach, just south of Tijuana. Not growing up in California, I did not know that California was like so close to Mexico, and there's basically just like it borders, right? Like you can literally drive your car across.
Yes.
To be fair, I lived there and I didn't know that for a long time either.
But it seems perfect for a weekend like getaway. So I'm so jealous that
Yeah.
you guys are able to do that.
I never did.
I've never been to Mexico either, but there is a mall here that is literally the exit before Mexico. So, and we've been to, it's like an outlet mall. And so when you're going there, there's like all these huge signs on the freeway that are like exit now or like Mexico next exit. And we're always like, get over here. You have to, because you don't want to accidentally go past that exit.
Yeah. Mexico was never like a destination that I wanted to go to. It just never really like came up. A friend of mine does a lot of cruises, and she doesn't like when they dock in Mexico because she thinks it's, if you're not like on a resort, it can get a little scary.
It's dangerous. Yeah.
It can get a little sketchy. So
At certain parts, yeah.
Yeah, certain parts for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always said like if we do cross the border like that someday, I want to go with people who know what they're doing, so we're
Mhm.
prepared, not just like by ourselves and be like, where are we going?
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. But the resorts and stuff look great. Like,
No, the
Mhm.
resorts are awesome. I've been to
Yeah.
a few Mexico resorts, Cancun, and like I love them. It's
Mm.
just so relaxing and you totally like disconnect for that week.
That would be nice.
I'm like, when are we going? Let's go.
Yeah, for real.
We'll have a Millennial TV Mexican getaway.
Yes.
We'll host a live podcast. Everyone could come down.
Take shots, dance in the
Yeah.
bar, and
Yep.
and we'll wear little
Call each other
t-shirts.
sluts.
Yeah. I feel like the producers are so shady towards Caitlyn because like she never gets a lower third. I feel like you don't know who she
Yeah.
is.
We don't know who she is, yeah.
She's appeared in season 1 as well in like one of those ending episodes, and like I
Mhm.
feel like they just disregard her as Lauren's friend like altogether.
They were probably so mad that she decided to go with Caitlyn. You know, they were like, why isn't Lo going?
I'm
You know what I
sure,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
Who is
like they
this
were
girl?
probably pissed, and she was like, well, it's my birthday, so I'm taking
Yeah.
Lo out.
I agree, though. I feel like we know nothing about her.
No.
So in our first scene, we see Kristen, Alex H, and Jessica walking down the street. Kristen says she can't believe she's 18. They go into a store and Kristen is wondering what else the girls have planned for her birthday. Alex says she's worried that Jessica is going to give it away, and Kristen agrees that Jessica isn't good at keeping secrets. Kristen says she's thinking it's going to be some dinner thing because that's what everyone else does. But Alex says, well, we're not everyone else, so you're wrong. Alex and Jessica ask Kristen if there's anyone who she wouldn't want to be there, and Kristen says the only person she can think of is Taylor. But then she asks, why is she going to be there? And the girls say, they don't know. I thought this was a little bit mean again that they were giving Jessica such a hard time of like, oh, she's so bad at keeping secrets. Again, now I'm noticing all the bullying now.
See, I'm not wrong.
I'm noticing it, yeah.
You guys called me out
There
so
are
bad
snarky
last time.
comments, yes.
They
Yep.
do snark her a lot, but I liked the scene for the fashion.
Oh, yeah.
The three of them walking down the street, I wanted to take a picture because it was so perfect. All of their outfits were emulating the 2000s so perfectly. Kristen was wearing literal snow boots with her mini skirt and a long sleeve shirt. Like, and then the layering of the tank tops for Alex and Jessica. I was just like, this is peak 2000s fashion with the bright colors. I freaking loved it. It was really cute that Alex and Jessica are throwing Kristen like a surprise birthday thing.
Okay, wait, but do you think that's real? I was like, is this because MTV asked them to, or do you think they are actually throwing her birthday party? Because I did not throw my friends freaking birthday parties.
No, but I want it to be real because I always wanted a friend to throw me a birthday party, and they
of
never.
course, of course.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to be real. I was like, real friends throw you birthday parties with cute boys, and like none of my friends ever did that.
I so don't want it to be real, only because I feel like that would mean that they kissed her ass so badly.
I mean, they kind of did.
They totally did, but that's why I'm like, I
Mhm.
hope this is not real.
I think it might be real.
Or maybe it was a little bit of both. Maybe MTV like found the location and they invited people.
Okay,
I don't
you know what Jessica, Kristen, and Alex remind me of? I'm gonna out nerd myself here. Harry Potter. Not the Golden Trio, so not Harry, Ron, and Hermione, but like the Marauders, like Sirius, James, Peter. Do you know what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for you to make the connection for
Yeah,
you.
who is who?
So here I am. I know we went off into left field here, but it's gonna make sense. So like the hero worship that like Peter and Remus had for like Sirius and James, that's what I feel like the dynamic is here. It took me a while, but I came back to it. See?
I can see that, yeah.
I'm not sure I follow.
I just out-nerded myself really bad, but like,
No, I love that.
I see it. I just feel like they hero worship her like that. Like,
Yeah.
if you read the 5th book and you read that chapter, you see it, okay?
I think I probably have to go back and read that.
I'm not crazy, and the Harry Potter fans are going to be like, Candace, you were right. That's correct.
Please
That's
tell
the
us
dynamic.
if you're one of those.
So anyways, I feel like they just hero worship her because they like can't
They
possibly
just want to
have
be
as many
her.
boys as Kristen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can't possibly be as like effervescent as Kristen. Like, she's so perfect. So they just like,
Yeah.
you know, they kiss her ass 12 ways from Sunday, which we'll talk about it when it comes. But yeah, that's demonstrated by Alex's birthday gift.
Mm.
Yeah, that is true. So we then see Taylor in her room picking out clothes. Her mom comes in and asks what she's doing, and Taylor says she's picking out clothes to wear with dinner to Talon that night. And her mom asks, "You're going to dinner with Talon?" And Taylor asks why that's a big deal. And her mom says because she's never been out to dinner alone with another boy besides Tyler, which I'm assuming is her ex-boyfriend. Taylor says Talon's a nice guy, and her mom mentions that they've known each other for a long time, since 6th grade. And her mom asks if she thinks Talon will try to kiss her, and Taylor gives her a look. I thought this was funny that we kind of got back-to-back mom scenes of like, who are you going with? What are you going to do? Is she going to kiss you? You know, like, I don't know. I definitely like told my mom stuff, but she never would be like, is he going to try to kiss you? Like, she
No,
never asked me things like that.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Especially with a camera there. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very awkward.
My mom and I did not have that type of relationship. I would have rolled over dead before I told her anything like this. I was watching this, like, it's really nice that they have that relationship, but like, I didn't even tell my mom that I knew what a boy was. You know what I mean? Like, it just didn't,
Yeah.
just didn't happen. So yeah, no, that would have been so embarrassing for me. But I did write down, Talon will 100% try to kiss you.
Mhm.
And I fully stand by that, and I fully believe it.
I wrote down, I'm like, okay, all of their moms are so young and like gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is in the water at Laguna Beach? Don't tell me it's Botox and injections.
I was literally going to be like,
That's
plastic
it.
surgery.
Yeah.
They all look very natural if they partake in that. Yeah, they just looked really good.
They're all very sun-kissed.
Yeah.
And blonde and beautiful.
Yeah. Next, we see Lauren driving Steven, Dieter, and Caitlin on their way to Mexico. Dieter says he wants to play a game where you name 2 random people and you have to say which one you'd rather hook up with. Lauren gets excited to play and asks Caitlin, Polster or Trey? Caitlin immediately says Trey.
I wonder why, by the way. Like, the
I
way that she
know.
answered that was like very shady.
It's because I think Polster is like,
Awkward?
no, he's like the jester of the group. Like, he's,
The jokester, like the funny guy.
yeah, like, you don't want to date Polster, but like, I mean, I do. Yeah, but I mean, I think she just thinks Trey's cuter, but I think Polster's a cutie too.
Yeah.
That, or she had some really bad experience with Polster. I don't know.
Maybe. Oh, yeah.
Also, I just want to point out that Lauren is shoving fries in her mouth this whole scene, and it
Yes.
cracks me up. And I was really hungry as I was watching this, and I was like, now I want some McDonald's fries.
I know.
Lauren then asks Dieter, Christina or Morgan. And Lauren starts laughing, and we hear Dieter doing kind of like a fake cough, like he doesn't want to answer the question. And then he says, definitely never Morgan, so it would be Christina. And I was like, what a diss to Morgan, but also
I know,
I
with
get
her-
it.
Well, and the way that Lauren asked that, it was also like she knew that he was gonna like give a bad
Yeah.
answer.
Yes.
But you know what it is? It's because, like, boys don't ask her the things that they ask, like, the sluts.
Exactly, yeah.
You know? Like Dieter would never, like, ask me what he would ask the slut.
Mm-mm.
So, came back to bite you, didn't it, Morgan?
Lauren asks Steven who he would choose, and he just says, I'm not playing. Dieter awkwardly says, so, LC, who are you going to hook up with this weekend? And he does, like, a fake laugh. Like, he was literally like, ha ha. Like, it was so very awkward.
Yeah.
I did say, though, that I kind of felt like this felt like Dieter was making fun of the filming process a little bit, like with the producers being like, you have to ask Lauren who she's going to hook up with. And he did it in like a way that was like, so I have to ask you this question. Ha ha. I don't know. That's kind of what it felt like to me.
Okay. I feel like you guys know something that I don't, and it's because you do, because you listened to Back to the Beach and I didn't.
Yeah.
But, okay, Am I gonna like be brokenhearted the same way that I am about the breakfast scene?
I don't.
Do you want us to say? Yeah.
I mean, we'll never get a straight answer out of Steven, but what he said about it made sense because if you actually watch how
Mhm.
they edited it, like it makes sense what he's
It does
saying.
make sense. Yeah.
Wait, Candace, let's get
Okay.
there. Let's get
Yeah.
there.
Okay. I'm just starting to feel like you guys know something that I don't, and it's stressing me out.
So next we see Taylor and Talon going to Eva's Caribbean Kitchen. And I looked up this restaurant. Unfortunately, they closed in
No,
2018. I know, because it
it
looked
looked
fun.
good.
It did look really cute, yeah.
They each take a taste of each other's fruity drinks, and Talon tells her to eat the flower in hers. And she says, no, it's too pretty to eat. Talon tells Taylor that she looks really great and says when he's around her, he acts so much different than when he's around any other girls. He says it's like everything changes. He says he doesn't have a girlfriend because every other girl he tries to date, he compares to Taylor. Then he says, wow, that's like a line from a movie or something.
Like, okay, Talon, I am begging you to come on the podcast
I know.
so that I can please talk to you about where you got, like, what 90s movie did you get these lines from?
Yeah,
Like,
I know. But I loved it so much.
Me too. I'm like, okay, I understand that it can be cringy, but it's
Yeah.
like this is the only snippet we're getting of this dinner. If he's feeding her those lines for the entire dinner,
Exactly.
I would be so smitten, okay? I would be in love.
but he's playing her.
Okay, but you don't know that,
It felt
okay?
real to me. I
Yeah.
don't know.
That felt real to you?
Yes.
Yes.
I think he really
Stop
liked
it.
her.
I think he
Are you
does.
serious, Candace? He liked her in this moment.
Stop.
Yes.
Really?
Why?
That felt genuine to you guys.
Why else would he ask her out and take her out?
Every girl I try to date, I compare to you, but there's no comparison. Really?
But he's just an awkward guy.
No, I'm rolling my eyes so far into the back of my head they might not come out.
Okay, well, he ends that line with, there's no girl like you that I have met thus far in my life. So, but I think her reaction to it was what made me be like, oh, because she says how he said things nicer to her in the past 5 minutes than she's been told in the past 5 years. And so that was like, okay,
It was so nice. I'm such a sucker for stuff like this.
me too.
I'm just gonna shut up.
I think like it would actually be so cute if they dated and if he
Mhm.
actually kept his like stayed with how much he liked her in this moment because I do genuinely
Yeah.
feel like he liked her, but he was also very quick to like jump between girls. And I feel like we know people like that in high school who had a crush on you for 1 week and would like say the nicest
Mhm.
things to you and do the nicest things for you. And then you would totally melt and fall in love with them. And then the next week they're like totally on to someone else. So I feel like I totally get Taylor in this situation.
See, I don't think Talon liked anybody. I think Talon knew how to play the game. I truly, I think he knew how to play the game, and he played it well. He knew the assignment. He understood it, man. He, because that was what every girl wanted to hear. I mean, right? I applaud him. Now, if he really did like her and he really did mean all those things, amazing. I just don't believe it. Did it make anyone else mad that Taylor didn't wear the cute Caribbean style top that she was showing her mom?
That her mom said she should wear.
Yes, it was so cute, and it was perfect for a Caribbean restaurant. I was so upset.
Her pink halter top was cute, but yeah, that Caribbean tank top or halter was super
It
cute.
was way cuter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next we see Lauren, Caitlin, Steven, and Dieter eating dinner at a restaurant at the Rosarita Hotel. The waitstaff comes over and they really loudly sing happy birthday to her. And then Steven did a really great woo at the end of the song. And this is when I looked up their birthday differences, by the way. This is when I was like curious about that because I feel like this is kind of when that like disconnect started happening of like what he calls Kristen and stuff, which we'll get to that in a minute. But
wait, this is when producers are so fucking shady to Caitlin, by the way. Like they turn her mic all the way up when they're just singing happy birthday and it's
it was
so
so bad.
off key. But like they could have kept everyone else's mic turned on, but they did not.
Yeah.
They did not. And it was just her singing badly.
Poor Caitlin. Justice for Caitlin. Caitlin, did you want to come on the pod?
Yeah.
Come on the pod, Caitlin.
Tell us what really happened.
Tell us how you really feel. Lauren looks wasty pants in this scene.
Yes.
And
Oh my gosh.
I'm living for it. I am living for her. I'm so happy she's having a good birthday. And later, we'll get to it, but she's like totally slurring.
Mm-hmm.
I love it, and I'm so happy for her. I'm literally like, she's having such a good time. Like, good for Lauren. Like, just wasted on her birthday.
With the man of her dreams.
Right?
Yeah, I
it's
love
the best
that.
birthday ever.
Seriously.
She gets progressively drunker during this scene, and it's
Yes,
hilarious. Like,
it's the
like
best.
you don't actually see her drinking anything, but as the scene goes on, she's just drunker and drunker.
So Lauren feeds the cherry from her little cake to Steven, and then they're telling her, make a wish before she blows out the candle. And then this was another part where I felt bad for Caitlin again in this part, because we could hear her mic saying, is the wish for me? Are you going to make the wish for me? And then Lauren was like, it totally wasn't for you. So I was like, why was Caitlin even saying that? It was
exactly.
so weird.
Okay, that was a mean comment by Lauren, but why are you asking for her to make a wish for you?
Make
Shut
the
up.
wish for me.
Yeah.
It was so weird. So then Lauren leans over to Steven and she licks the whipped cream off of the tip of his nose.
More sexualization.
Oh, yes.
But it's okay now because they're not in high school.
Yeah, exactly. And they're both drunk. Hey, she's living. I'm living for her. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Steven and Caitlin get up from the table, and Lauren says to Dieter, I bet you anything you don't know what I wish for. And Dieter says he guarantees that he knows what she wished for.
I love Dieter.
I know. I love the scene. And then Lauren kind of aggressively says, what did I wish for? Say it out loud. What did I wish for? And he says something that they definitely bleeped out.
I think you wish for that motherfucker that just left. It's one of my favorite Dieter lines. So yeah, it's definitely, I think you wish for that motherfucker that just left.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Dieter. Like, he's so funny. He loves to stir up drama.
Yes.
He like loves it. It's his favorite thing, and it's but like in a playful way. Like, he's never trying to be mean or like,
but annoying if you're on the receiving end.
Yeah.
I love it. I would have been like the girl version of Dieter, like stirring it up.
Lauren mouths to him like, Steven. And then Dieter, he definitely said at that part, he's like, I'm so fucking right. So
yeah, but also like, Lauren, no, the other motherfucker that just left.
Right, like who
like
else,
like
Lauren?
Caitlin, like,
Yeah,
obviously. Like, she's so drunk.
So drunk.
She's not even sure if Steven came or if it was someone
This
else.
whole
She like
trip
doesn't
was
know.
so good.
Yeah.
So next we go back to Morgan S.'s house, and we see Talon, Taylor, and Alex M. Talon asks if they're all going to go to Kristen's party, and Morgan says, yeah, I guess so. I'm sure Jason's going and Jessica. Taylor says she's not going, and Talon says it's stupid that she's not going to go because of that. Alex M chimes in with, oh, Talon, we weren't invited. Why does she not like Taylor? And Talon says that she does like Taylor, that he talked to her about it, and he says she has no problem with Taylor. Alex M replies with sarcastic, cool, and then Talon gets up and says he has to go to lunch, which I'm like, where is he going to lunch? That was
I know,
so
and they're all
strange.
like, have fun at lunch.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Okay.
Like, with who? Who's he going to lunch with? Like, are we supposed to imply that he's going to lunch with Kristen? Because that's weird.
It was so abrupt.
I will say, though, like, he's like, no, that doesn't make any, that's stupid if you don't go to the party. It's not stupid, Talon. I wouldn't go to a party where I knew somebody actively didn't like me. Like,
yeah,
it's her party. Like, that was weird.
Yeah.
That was weird.
But maybe he didn't know how bad it was.
That's what
them.
I got, the vibe, yeah.
You know, like, boys are so stupid.
I think he's just trying to play, like, both sides. Like, he's just trying to, like,
for sure.
Like, I don't think Kristen ever told him, like, no, I'm fine with Taylor. Like, I don't think that ever left her mouth. But I think he was
so
like
either,
trying to mediate.
Yeah.
Because he liked Taylor, but he also liked hanging out with Kristen.
Yeah.
You know, he was just trying to make it work. But it's irritating to me.
Yeah.
I would have been like, no, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Please. I wasn't invited, and I'm not a party crasher. Thanks.
But I feel like she also says that in a way that, like, you know, she's not, like, mad about it, but she's almost, like, embarrassed that she's not invited to the party with all the people.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucks for her to have to say out loud. Freaking Talon.
I do have written down that it makes no sense why Taylor won't date Talon, except that he's a player. Like, why else would she not want to date him?
What do you mean? Taylor?
Yeah.
No, she did.
But she, like, won't.
No, I feel like he won't.
Like, I feel like the whole episode, like, he's, like, telling her how much he likes her, and she's like, it's kind of like, I want to, but, like, it's whatever. So I feel like she, like, doesn't want to make it official.
I kept getting the vibe that maybe he was coming across a little bit too strong and too fast. Like, it went from, like, I like you, let's go out to dinner, to, like, really intense, like, I'm so into you. And that, I've had that happen to me before, and then I'm like, whoa, like, maybe I don't want to be with this person. Yeah.
Where's this coming from?
Yeah.
That's true. Because there is a difference between like hanging out with you and then now he's like hanging out with your girlfriends too, like right away.
Yeah.
It's a bit much.
Yeah, but they were like all friends. I feel like that's not as weird.
But that's like your boyfriend. Like boyfriends come and hang out with you and your best friends. Like he wouldn't just come and hang out with them.
Yeah, but Talon hangs out with like Kristen and Jessica and Alex all the time too.
When?
And like Lauren and Lo.
Okay, but he didn't
want
to like
hanging out that day.
hook up
Kristen
with
was
Lauren and
talking
Lo.
to them about Steven's,
like from season 1 or season 2?
From season 1 when they're talking about the promposal.
Okay, I know what you're talking about, but there were other guys there. It wasn't just like a girl hangout. I think Gary was
it wasn't
there.
just Talon. Oh, well, okay, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, for some reason, I always picture Talon hanging out with the girls because he kind of always.
He frequently did.
Yeah.
So I like it doesn't seem weird to me. Like it doesn't seem like he's doing it like to be with Taylor. It seems like he's just always popping up. Like there's Talon, you know, like trying to be on camera.
So interesting. To me, I'm like, oh no, he's like there for Taylor and really showing
That's
up because
what I thought too.
he
Yeah.
liked her so much at this time.
I'm like so surprised by you and how into Taylor and Talon you are.
Well, I just think that it was very real.
I know. It's like I'm surprised by you.
I'm surprised you don't see it.
I wasn't expecting this out of you, Adrian.
Liz too.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way. Yeah.
Both of us. This is season 2, man. Liz and Adrian versus Candace.
I know. You feel bad. You guys have such opposite opinions of me in season 2. You know, I don't know. I honestly am I'm trying to see him not being a player, but I can't.
Well, no, I think he is a player, but I feel like he goes through seasons where he's really into a specific girl, and I feel like at this time he genuinely is really into Taylor.
No, I just I just think like he does it with Kristen too. Like he's just like, you're the perfect girl, like you're everything, and like I want to be with you.
But I think it's all genuine.
I think he says that to every girl. I think he also said that to Lo when he was trying to get into her pants.
Oh my god!
Like I don't think it's original. I don't think he actually has feelings for anyone. I think he's just Talon.
I feel like I know guys that are like this, that genuinely go through these different phases where they're like totally in love and into one person, but it skips so quickly.
Yeah.
So to me, it's real.
Talon, I want answers. I want answers, Talon.
Come on, Talon.
We need the truth.
Come on and tell us we're right, Liz and I.
Yes.
Come on and tell them you were a player.
So after Talon leaves, Alex asks Taylor how the dinner was with Talon. Taylor says she doesn't know and can't explain it. Morgan says they're like a couple without being a couple. And Taylor says, why not? We have so much fun together. And Alex agrees, and Taylor says that he is the best date.
See, that's what I mean.
That's where I started getting the vibe that maybe he was coming on a little bit too strong, and she was getting kind of freaked out about it.
But she says she basically says there's no reason for her to not date him.
Right.
And so that always makes me think that it's her. Like she's like not like he would date her in a second, and she's just like, I'm good.
She's just not that into it.
But I feel like Taylor is hesitant because she knows that Talon's like this. Like he's super into a girl in 1 second, and then he'll like flip right after. So I feel like that's why she hesitates to date him.
Right. He's a player.
Yeah, but he's really into her right now.
Okay. Jason was really into Jessica when he started dating her.
Yeah.
That's
but he really liked her at that time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we agree.
I think I'm just like over these fuckboys right now.
I know.
Between Jason and Talon, I don't know which way is up.
So next we see Kristen, Alex H, and Jessica getting ready for Kristen's birthday party. And Kristen's trying to decide what to wear while Jessica is curling her hair. And then Kristen opens her birthday gift from Alex, a pair of really cute sparkly earrings.
Wait, you glossed over those blue pearl
That
Tiffany
blue
earrings?
box. It's
Oh,
Tiffany.
was it Tiffany? Okay, well, I didn't say that because
Yeah.
I wasn't 100%, so I didn't want to say it and then be
Me
wrong.
and Adrian made the exact same
Okay,
face. We were
okay,
like,
good.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay, wait,
Yeah.
re-record myself. The really
Yeah.
cute Tiffany sparkling earrings. Yeah.
I put, what kind of best friend is that, and can I have one?
I know. I literally have Alex getting Kristen the blue box. That's insane. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't get a blue box until I was a grown adult and had a boyfriend who, like,
Yeah.
decided he was going to spend that much money on me. And it was, like, the cheapest thing he could possibly get in the entire store.
I think we all have the same one, probably, that heart necklace.
Oh, yeah.
No, he got me, like, an infinity bracelet, which is it was
Ooh,
really cute.
yeah.
Ever since Sweet Home Alabama, and he takes her to the Tiffany store and tells her to pick out any engagement ring she wants, that was like the goal. So the closest I could get was a Tiffany's bracelet. So, you know, blue boxes are huge.
I wonder how much those cost. And, like, did she actually buy those? Or, or was it an MTV thing?
I feel like this was like a her thing.
Yeah, I feel like Alex and Kristen were like really best friends.
True best friends, yeah.
I feel like Jessica was just kind of like thrown in there, you know?
I agree.
But yeah, I think it's kind of like on the hills. Is it Heidi that gets Lauren like some really expensive thing for her birthday, or vice versa?
For Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
first
It's
season.
kind of like that. Like, they were really good friends.
Yeah.
And so I think that was probably real. Sorry, I'm not getting you guys a blue box. I love you. But like, I don't I don't have that kind of money. I can't even buy myself the blue box.
Yeah, they're good friends and they're rich. So let's not forget
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. So next we are back at the Rosarita Beach Hotel, and we see Steven in room 703. And he's calling Kristen to wish her a happy birthday. And this was the most awkward phone call because the conversation literally was like, hey, what are you doing? Nothing, just watching TV. What are you doing? Nothing. Well, have a good birthday. Okay, bye. So this was when I pulled up the Back to the Beach episode again because I have to hear what he says about this because I couldn't remember. And he did confirm that he called Kristen to wish her a happy birthday, but we don't see him saying that during the scene. We just hear the audio of it. And then him wishing her a happy birthday was not done while they were in Mexico. He says this since their birthdays were a month apart. So it felt like this was two awkward phone calls like spliced together somehow, which makes sense.
I was gonna say, Kristen like getting off the phone with him felt really real.
That was real.
I was gonna ask you guys because I didn't get that far, but that felt really real. But I did think it was very strange that we were seeing the phone call on the other end as well. In Mexico,
it was like way too good to be true.
So like, did they make him film? Like, how did they know that they needed that? Like, I don't know.
Oh, I think they knew. Like, they knew for storytelling purposes what they needed from him. And it didn't even have to be him in Mexico. Like, they could just be filming him at his student dorm, like lying in bed and making a phone call, you know?
Yeah, you are right.
So when she hangs up the phone, Kristen complains that Steven can't just grow up and talk to her instead of having to make it awkward. And she says, whatever, he's immature, shall we? And then they leave for the party.
Or he's just still in love with you. Like, be a little nice.
Yeah, he did say too on Back to the Beach that he was like, I was really passive aggressive and like he was acting like that because he was immature, so he kind of owned up to it.
I don't know. I feel bad for him in this season with Kristen. I feel like she's really harsh with him. And I truly never feel bad for Steven. So this is like, I truly think she's really harsh on him. Okay, she doesn't owe him anything. So like, I also don't want to be like, I'm not blaming Kristen because she doesn't owe him anything. But I do feel bad for him
that he's still so in love with her and she's completely moved on.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Kristen, I don't want people to think that I'm saying Kristen should like
talk to him,
engage with that or whatever.
Right.
It's just I do feel bad for him because he clearly still has feelings for her.
Yeah.
So we get to Kristen's birthday party where there are so many people. It's at a restaurant. They didn't point out where it was. Kristen sits down and it's just a table full of a ton of people. She sits down next to her friend JP and she asks, did you really make me a cake? And then Talon stands up to give a birthday speech, which comes out as, Everyone, here's to Kristen. Without Kristen, happy birthday, Kristen. Everyone starts cheering, and he says, you know what I'm saying? So, like, best birthday speech ever. Makes no sense.
Her little, like, baby pink sweater is super cute.
So cute.
I really liked it. And, like, it was small. She is, like, she's very well endowed up top, so it's like
I was
like
gonna
a
say
small
her big
sweater.
boobs,
Yeah.
small waist.
Yeah,
It looked very
yeah.
good.
It
Yep.
looked good on her, yeah.
And we even see a cameo from Christina, who is at Kristen's birthday party. Did you guys catch
Is
that?
Christina there?
I didn't notice that. Oh my
I
gosh.
didn't
Yeah.
notice her either.
So then we're back at Lauren's party, and we see all of them leaving the restaurant and making their way to Papa's and Beer. Lauren sits down on Steven's lap, and he gives her a kiss. Lauren and Steven then get on a mechanical bull together and awkwardly ride it until, of course, they both fall off. And then when they fall
So
off,
intimate.
yeah. And then when they're laying on the ground, of course, he gives her a noogie.
Oh my god.
I felt
It's
really
so
uncomfortable watching this scene.
Yes,
Yeah.
I literally have uncomfortable written everywhere.
Yeah. It was weird.
Yeah, the whole thing was weird.
I wonder why Dieter and Caitlin were even on this trip, because I feel like they felt so awkward throughout the entire thing, just watching like Steven and Lauren together. And I also put, though, it is amazing that Steven and Lauren are not just full on like making out the entire night. They're just kind of like giving each other pecks, but they're not like
Yeah.
giving full on kisses, which is very hard to do when you're in that situation.
It's some foreplay for sure. Like, I'm pretty sure at one point he like whispers in her ear that they're gonna go back to the hotel and do it. I'm like, what's happening? I'm not sure when it happens because I just have it written down for the scene, but it says Steven just going in for the kiss with Lauren. Whoa. Like, I guess he kisses her at one point, and I remember watching it and being like, dang, I don't remember it getting this real. Like,
Yeah.
like they're definitely like feeling it.
Yeah.
The tequila has become one with the two of them. Like, they are ready. They are in heat.
Have either of you guys ever ridden a mechanical bull?
No.
No.
Okay, I haven't either.
That's so embarrassing.
Me too. I'm like, I would never do that.
What? I want to.
Really?
They have one at
Yeah.
Texas Roadhouse.
Do they? Oh.
Yeah. And
Ours doesn't have
here.
one.
And like when it's your birthday, you can ride it.
Oh my gosh.
But I would never.
There used to be a club here in Vancouver with a mechanical bull, and like a bunch of my friends like used to go. I never went there, but I feel like I want to go just to see how difficult it is, because if they turn
Yeah.
it up, it really looks like it's gonna like toss you off. But I'm like, my toxic trait is thinking that I can do all of these physically like challenging things. So I feel like I can freaking stay on that bull.
Well, then you have to try one. You
Yeah.
gotta go there.
That club is closed, but I do have to try another one.
Adrian, you're like the little train that could. Like, you're just gonna, you're like gonna make it happen. You're Scrappy Doo.
When you watch like the challenge and all of that and Big Brother Amazing Race, I'm like, I can do that to all of it. Unless it's a heights challenge, then I'm gonna be a bit scared. But I still think I can do it.
My friend Katie, this was like probably 8 or 9 years ago now, but her and her ex-boyfriend were actually on the show Wipeout.
Oh my god, I love that show.
They got all the way to the end. It was like a Battles of the Exes show, and they were the
Oh my
final
God.
couple. And I was so pissed because he ended up winning, her ex did. But yeah, it was crazy. It was such a cool thing
Oh
that she
my
got to do.
gosh. I feel like everyone on that show is gonna get hurt somehow.
Oh yeah, she was like beat up afterwards, for real. And she did the whole thing where they like shot her out of the cannon at the end and you go
Oh
in the
my
water and
God.
everything. It was crazy.
I used
Yeah.
to watch that show
No.
every time I felt sad because it was just so ridiculous watching everyone like fall over and get hurt.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing Survivor. I'm not doing the challenge. I'm not doing Fear Factor.
No!
Not doing any of it.
No, definitely not
No.
Fear Factor. I could
I'm not
eat
eating
bugs.
cow balls.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not eating it.
Back at Kristen's party, we see her telling Talon she hasn't seen him in a long time and that he looks good. She blows him a kiss, and we hear her saying Talon is cute. Then she says, "Don't let myself say that. That Talon's cute." And somebody says, "Here we go again." And then Kristen starts like shouting at him, "Come here, Talon," and starts like making cute faces at him and stuff.
It's so awkward.
So she gets up and Talon, he puts his arm around her and says that they have to hang out. And Kristen playfully is like, "Ow," because he has his arm around her neck, like really tightly. And then he says, "You have no choice but to hang out with me." And so that was a kind of another vibe where I got where she was like being playful, flirty. And then he kind of like took it to that next level, like immediately. And she was like, "Wait, never mind," you know?
He like had her in a chokehold.
Did you guys think Kristen was drunk in this scene?
No, but Talon was.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. I
I don't
was like, I don't know
know.
if she's just really flirty or if she's like a little intoxicated.
I guess it would be better if she were intoxicated because I'm like, she's so annoying that literally when he's into Taylor, then she picks back up with Talon.
Of course, yep.
Super annoying.
I think it was mostly the like yelling for him and the like weird faces and like Talon, like that made me
Yeah.
think she was drunk.
Yeah.
It was a little extra.
And it was her birthday dinner, maybe.
Yeah.
So we then get back to Lauren's party where they're now heading into the New York Jazz Club, which is a pretty big change of scenery from Papa's and Beer. They're sitting at the bar and Stephen leans in and he gives her a kiss. And then he starts growling at her and they're being really flirty. And he says, "Happy birthday and I love you. I'm glad we're all down here and I'm having fun." Lauren kisses him on the forehead and thanks him, saying that that's all she wanted. Then they started giving each other small kisses at the bar, and Stephen, he blows her hair away from her face, and Lauren asks where they're going after this. And then that's when we see him whispering who knows what into her ear.
Definitely we're going back to the hotel and doing
That was so sexual.
It was so, oh my gosh, that whole scene. And the whole time I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe this is happening. But like now, knowing who she dates later on, I felt like I was like, it was tainted for me. Like I couldn't.
like her dating Jason.
Jason. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I know this is nothing. Like this isn't, nothing's gonna happen with this. So.
I'm so sad though, because I feel like these two are so perfect in the scene, and I so want this to be a thing.
So we do see them back at the hotel and we see Steven putting the do not disturb sign on the door. And then we just hear their audio of him saying, "We get ourselves into too much trouble." And Lauren says, "I know." So then we see the next morning. We see Lauren walking out of the bathroom in her towel and Steven sleeping in the bed. And we hear her say his name. And it looks like she's trying to wake him up by like rubbing on his back. So on Back to the Beach, Steven says they did not spend the night together in the hotel room. And he points out that in that scene, we don't ever actually see them in the same shot together. And that when Lauren says his name, her mouth doesn't move. And watching it back now, he was right. Like her mouth does not say Steven.
Mm-hmm.
And that he also pointed out that like the paint on the wall is different from her hotel room to his. Like he went into like super detail of like all the things he noticed to like prove that this was wrong. And so I'm assuming that she was actually trying to wake Caitlin up. But I was like, I said,
Totally.
wow, a good job, MTV, with that editing. Like, I would have never known.
MTV completely fooled us because, like, watching it again, you never see them in the same shot.
Yep.
The lighting in both of those shots are so different. And, like, who knows? They might have, hooked up somewhere else in the resort or the night before that we never got to watch on TV. But, like, this shot was not them together in the same
Right.
hotel room.
But my consensus on them hooking up had nothing to do with that scene.
So you don't think that it was them, like, sleeping over at night?
No. I mean, just because they didn't sleep over didn't mean that they didn't hook up.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, I think they definitely hooked up that trip. Like,
Yeah.
the scene after didn't matter. Like, was I fooled as an adult? Yes. Because I hadn't listened to the podcast, but it still didn't make it different. Like, I kind of was like, oh, really? They're just, like, showing Lauren in her towel, like, waking Steven up? Like, that's really weird. I literally have that written down. Like, that's super weird that she's just in her towel and they, like, let them film that. So that makes sense that, like, that was not what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that they hooked up specifically that night where he was whispering in her ear.
Yeah, I agree that something definitely happened. I think it was just weird because on Back to the Beach of how like adamant he was about making a point of like that no, that didn't happen.
But if MTV edited you in that way to show that you were like having sex with someone when you didn't, I feel like
I would be mad too.
yeah, you would want to prove otherwise too.
Yeah.
I think we all know my thoughts on why Steven is so adamant about certain things like, I think he just doesn't want Kristen to know still to this
No!
day.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Exactly what he was doing.
No.
Yeah. I can't let it go. I can't. And I just think he tries really hard to project a certain image of himself.
Mhm.
And I think it's really hard for him to look back and, like, genuinely, like, with retrospect, he can't admit to some of the things that he did.
Mhm.
That's my personal opinion. Is it true? I don't know. Maybe.
He'll never say.
Yeah, he'll never say. I mean, part of it I feel like is to protect Lauren too, because she's so
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
vocal about all this stuff. I mean, and they're both like married. I mean, she's married
Right.
with children and all
None
that
of this
Mhm.
stuff,
stuff
but
matters anymore except for
yeah,
us.
we just love to know.
Yeah, we just want to know.
We see everybody packing up to leave, and Dieter says, I can't believe that this girl woke up. And Caitlin says she can't believe that everybody woke up. So they must have been very drunk from that comment, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Steven's like, I feel so good right now.
Yeah. And then in the car, Lauren tells Steven that she can't believe he's going to be leaving today, and she looks super bummed out.
She's also like miserable driving home, but I mean,
Yeah,
who wouldn't
I get
be?
it, yeah.
I was so disappointed in her reaction to Steven leaving to go back to college. She's like crying.
Why are you disappointed, Candace? They just had like the most romantic
I
weekend.
know, but like that's embarrassing. Stop crying. He's not going that far.
She can't help it. It was a 6-hour drive.
Okay.
And it's also him leaving her for the first time after she's not going back to San Francisco. So maybe that,
Yeah. It's like everyone's leaving her.
and she's staying, yeah.
Yep.
We'll get there. We'll fight you. We're ready.
I know. I'm like, yep.
Candace has her arms crossed. And she's like, bring
So
it.
mad at us.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then we see Taylor at Alex M's house. And Alex says she can't believe that Talon went to Kristen's birthday party when Taylor wasn't invited. So Taylor says she thinks Talon talks bad about Kristen to her, but then talks bad about Taylor to Kristen, and she asks what Alex thinks. And Alex assures Taylor that he is infatuated with her and really likes her. Taylor says she knows that if Talon had a girlfriend, he'd treat her so well, like a princess, and sometimes she thinks that that would be really nice. But then they say he jumps from girl to girl very quickly and that it is like a game.
I so believe that he talks shit about like Kristen to Taylor and vice
Mhm.
versa. Like that's totally
Oh,
like
yeah.
Talon. But I also noticed that like Alex's hair was so dark and like way longer in the scene, and it's
Oh.
reminiscent of the hair that she had when they did like the fashion show near the end of the season. So I feel like this was like a re-record where MTV like made them come back to record the scene.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that, yeah.
Notice that, like, between this season, Alex's hair changes from, like, just, like, her regular brown medium length hair to, like, dark and long dark brown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look out for that now.
Yeah.
So we then see Kristen meeting up with Talon for lunch. And Kristen looked so cute in the black baseball hat with the short, low pigtails
What?
sticking out.
Okay.
You didn't like it? I thought she looked so cute.
Actually, I did, right? I'm like, that look could look ugly so quick, but she rocks it.
Yeah, I don't think I could pull that off, but yeah.
Her tube top and little pigtails. I
Mhm.
loved it.
Yeah.
And the trucker hat. I mean, I'm so glad trucker hats aren't a thing anymore because they're awful. But she did look cute.
So Kristen asks him if he knows any cute boys because she needs a boyfriend. And Talon says he thought she was with Matt, and she says he's not her boyfriend. Talon says, so you can still play the field, of course. Then he says that Kristen has a penis mentality, and she starts laughing. She says how Jessica always says she's the girl version of Jason, and then asks if he is dating. Talon shakes his head no, and Kristen asks Taylor, and he says no, and Kristen tells him they need to start hanging out. And then Talon says he's down, and Kristen gives him a big flirty smile. And I just wrote, what the heck, Talon? Like, come on, man. Made me so
After he
mad.
just said all those beautiful things to Taylor.
Yep,
What did I say?
I
What did I
know.
say?
So
I know, we
disappointing.
agree with you. He just
Yeah.
talks quickly.
It's a game. It's a game.
Next, we see Steven packing up his truck, and Lauren has come to say goodbye. She asks if he's going to be driving the whole way, 6 hours by himself. And Steven says he's going to get a lot of thinking in, which he says it should be quite interesting. And he says it was a fun break, fun while it lasted, and asks Lauren if she has any second thoughts. She says no and says she's way happier in Laguna but doesn't want everyone to leave. And then Steven gives her a big hug and says, "Thanks for coming by and hang in there." And he tells her that she can call him whenever she's really bored and misses him and wants to be up in San Francisco. Lauren says, "Yeah, right." And Steven gives her another hug and he tells her to stay happy. "That's why you came down here. Keep that head on straight." And then they hug each other one last time and they both get in their cars to leave.
Thank you, Steven, for the motivational speech and the noogie.
Yeah, it was so weird.
He's so awkward.
Wait,
I
why?
know. Like, why?
He was being nice to her because he knew that she was sad because she would be the only one in Laguna.
Keep that head up.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
no.
just the things
Don't
he
give
was
me
saying
a
are
motivational speech.
thanks for coming by and hang in there. It didn't feel
Yeah.
genuine. It felt like,
No.
I don't know.
He like, you know what it is? He gets awkward and doesn't know what to say, and
Yeah.
things just start coming out of his mouth. That's what it is.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
It's like his defense mechanism to like feeling awkward.
Right.
He just says stuff and like, okay, that's fine. But the noogies and stuff, like, honest to God,
The noogies are too much.
I never noticed it until like you guys and Rupert pointed it out. Like, and now I can't unsee it. And it's like, I'm like, there it is. There's another noogie. Like,
I know.
It's really like so strange. But Lauren had her classic side pony in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I may or may not have done a side pony for work today in honor of the side pony making an appearance.
That's so funny. But no, I genuinely felt sad too watching this scene for Lauren because, yeah, they just had this like wonderful weekend getaway together where they totally hooked up and fell in love. And then now the love of your life is going away back to school. I would be sad too.
Yeah.
It is hard to watch. She does love him like a
So
ridiculous
much.
amount. And it is hard to watch, but like it's still embarrassing for her life.
I think it was super awkward too because I feel like if they were hooking up that whole time, I'm like, why didn't he like kiss her goodbye or something too? It was just.
I feel like when they're sober, they don't want to do it like on camera.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with that.
They probably didn't want to do it drunk either, but
yeah, but they were beyond that point. Yeah.
Yeah, they were beyond it.
So the last shot is Lauren calling Caitlin from the car. Tells her that she just said goodbye to Steven. And Caitlin asks if she cried, and she says she tried so hard not to. And instead of see you in a few days, it's see you in a few months. And I did feel bad for her here. That's hard.
Yeah, and she was like the only one still left in Laguna of like her friends. So like, yeah, that would suck. But I mean, it's hard to feel really bad for her with her beautiful house and huge pool. And
exactly, yeah. But yeah, that was the episode. I thought it was a good one. What did you guys think?
I freaking love season 2.
Me too.
Me too. It was a good episode, and like this honestly feels like kind of a filler for season 2, but it's still better than like any filler that season 1 threw at us. Totally. You know what I mean? Like it's like stuff happens, but it's not like the Steven and Lauren stuff is like big. But
yeah.
Like the rest of it was just kind of
filler, yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like even when nothing is happening in season 2, something is happening.
It's still keeping the drama going, at least.
Yeah. Honestly, I always forget when I rewatch, like starting with season 1, and then I start season 2, and I'm always like, oh yeah, this is the show.
How much better it is.
I know, like you forget how good it is. Like season 1's okay, but it's just not. It's not season 2.
Well, my favorite outfit was Kristen in the black baseball hat that we just talked about.
I gotta go mini skirt and snow boots with long sleeve t-shirt
when they were walking down the street.
Yeah.
I put Kristen's pink cardigan sweater thing during dinner, but I actually loved Jessica's pink hoodie and jean jacket combo. I'm such a sucker for like that like hoodie jean jacket combo, and then she had these like two little bang
her
pieces.
Hair was curled.
Yeah, with beautiful
curls.
Super
cute.
I love that.
And Jason was like actually nice to her.
Yeah. He called her that day.
Yeah. He kissed her as soon as she walked in. It was cute.
He sat next to her. Yay.
Yeah. Like good for Jason doing the bare minimum.
Yep. And then I said my favorite moment was definitely the drunken dinner where Lauren's licking Steven's nose and when all of that goes down. What was your favorite parts?
The entire Steven and Lauren trip to Mexico. I put in words of Paris Hilton. That was so hot.
That was so hot. I'm gonna go with my man Dieter on this one and his. I know what you wish for. That motherfucker right there that just walked away. I just thought that was so funny. I love Dieter. Dieter.
Thank you so much for listening to our Season 2 recap of Laguna Beach. You can follow us on our Instagram at Millennial TV. That's Millennial TEAV on Instagram and on Reddit. If you have any suggestions for our podcast, you can also send us an email at millennialtv@gmail.com. And please give us a follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts to get notified when we release our episodes every Tuesday. Thanks again, and see you next week.